Hi, my name is Claire,
And I'm Molly.
and this is
Book Stupid.
We're in a new space today.
And is it not
It's-
just
wait,
so
would you say
glam?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying it's so
We're just
loud.
getting this from our producer. The space is branded the studio.
She was the studio. Welcome to the studio.
Welcome to the
Look
studio.
how white it is.
It's like goop.
It's like goo.
we belong on white surfaces. We never make a mess.
I didn't just say to Jeeps, I think I might have my period.
False alarm.
And she said, on my white shoes.
Oh, God.
And yeah, I'm wearing another ugly ass outfit.
Listeners, just imagine it. It's just homely.
I'm wearing gray joggers. They're Molly's, and so when I put them on, I felt like when Tim Allen turns into Santa Claus.
They're like a nasty Viore jegging. Another jogger.
I'm wearing yet another large t-shirt because I was like, I need a large t-shirt because these pants are suffocating me.
It's certainly only going to get worse as it gets warmer.
Oh, for sure.
You're just like, you don't want clothing. Soon you're going to start filming this naked. Topless, at least.
In my swim trunks. Oh my god, the dream.
Please wear a French cut one piece.
Molly always wants me to be in a French cut one piece.
You gotta see this girl from behind in a French cut one piece.
She actively objectifies me when I wear a French cut one piece.
Auga.
The reason I'm wearing this outfit is because today I got Molly's dog's poop all over my pants, which I think I like to call him Mr. Poopy Pants, and so I think
You didn't tell me you call him that.
Well, when he has to poop, I'm
Well,
like, let's go out, Mr. Poopy Pants.
Isn't that vulgar? Wow, alright.
I think maybe he took it to heart and said, I'll show you, Mr. Poopy Pants, and got poop all over my pants.
Who is wearing the pants with poop? It's you.
He's like, you can call me Mr. Poopy Pants. I don't even wear pants.
I don't even wear any pants. He's only got one suit, as my mom would say. But she would say it like this. I only have one suit.
I love that so much. That's a good line for a dog.
You're gonna love this too. I meant to say this earlier. I called my parents still in Florida this afternoon, and just offhandedly, my mom goes, "Oh, Barry's swimming laps." He's taken to just swimming laps around the pool.
That guy has the best life of anyone, and I'm not just talking about dogs. Anyone
Any
I know.
living being I know. Barry is my parents' dog.
He's bi-coastal.
He just lives a good life.
Yeah. He's what are your parents?
Snowbirds.
He himself is
he's a snowbird dog. He's a bird dog.
He's a snowbird dog.
Yeah.
What a nice life.
So you dropped trow. You left your pants.
Actually, I gotta say, when I came in, I took Molly's dog out in the afternoon, and he's like so chill. So like I didn't know he had to poop. And you have to carry him downstairs. He's a puppy. You gotta carry him downstairs, and then you put him on the concrete. And I've never seen him run before. He was like, ran to like the nearest bush and pooped so fast. I was like my IBS king, and I felt so bad because I didn't know he had to go so badly because he really would rather sleep than do anything at this age.
No, it's not even that he's actually sleeping. He's faking it. He just doesn't want to be arsed to go outside.
It's so funny though. I love it so much.
It's like, okay, like literally I see you. You're up and I know you have to
barking,
go.
Yeah.
Time to put on your harness. Your
Your
little
poopy pants.
He'll be like active, like walking around, and then as soon as he sees the leash and the harness, it's
He literally faints on his bed. Like,
runs to his bed and like sprawls and closes his eyes. Like,
and I'm so charmed by it. I'm like, that's such a good bit.
What a faker, big faker.
But I also fall for it. I'm like, I guess you don't know how to go.
No, you can't fall.
And then he pooped 3 times.
3 times in one walk, yeah.
And then I got so overwhelmed by how much he pooped that I just like picked him up real quick. Mr. Poopy Pants.
you, Mr. Poopy.
I'm the Mr. Poopy Pants.
Yeah.
So I'm in a new outfit.
And you looked really cute.
I looked cute enough.
No, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to recover from that kind of incident.
I love him. If he literally pooped on me, I'd be like, I love you.
I love that about you. You
Yeah.
are his family. He knows it, but
Yeah.
don't.
Also, I said this to you earlier. I was like, I don't even smell the poop, which is concerning. Like, I was like, my pants, I feel like they don't smell. And Molly was like, they definitely do. And I was like,
I feel like you need relativity. Like, we
Yeah.
walked into Jupes' apartment in
Yeah.
the studio, and
yeah, please.
immediately I was like, oh, this is a good smell.
Yeah.
And what I smelled before in my own apartment was a bad smell.
It smells like puppy in your apartment. Not like
God.
bad. It
Yeah,
just is
Mr.
like,
Poopy Puppy. That's what my apartment smells like. Yeah,
no.
it ain't great.
It smells like kibble.
Well, okay, so
Yeah.
outside of rolling in my dog's shit today, what have you been up to? I actually haven't seen you in a minute.
Yes, because I self-diagnosed with mono over the weekend.
Just by getting a negative mono result.
No, I didn't get the negative mono result until Monday or Sunday.
Okay.
But I have literally, you wouldn't know because I show up every week. Sorry, I touched the cord. But I have been sick for about 5 weeks.
No, seriously, it's too long.
Like,
You've
I got
been long suffering.
sick after Denver, but it was like a little sick, and then I got really sick, and then I was like fine for like literally 2 seconds, and then got like a horrible illness last week in which I developed what I was calling bowling ball head. I simply couldn't hold my head up.
It's a classic diagnosis.
Like,
yeah.
You know? And I was just I was like, I'm like, why does my head hurt so much?
So heavy.
It was so heavy.
So dense. I am, as soon as you said bowling ball head, I was so like affirmative. I was like, mono. It's mono.
Everyone was like, I was in a mono echo chamber. Everyone was like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think if I had mono, that would have been like, let's study her for science. Because I was like, this is a modern miracle if I have mono.
Oh, come on. No.
But yeah, it turns out I have nothing. I did get a full blood panel done because I went to the doctor and I was like, take my blood and figure it out. Why have I been sick for 5 weeks? And I got the results back and it was like, you got some weird stuff going on with your liver.
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry. It's all good. It's literally all good. I just had like a couple things were off. And my doctor emailed me and was like, I'm not worried about it, but like if you're still sick, let me know. I have to email her back.
You just like freely email with your doctor? She gave you
One
her personal.
medical.
You love
I'm
one
such
medical.
a one medical stan, and it sickens me because they're Amazon. But
It's, I think, sick to stay on a healthcare institution.
That's
but
true.
They treat you well.
They
and
treat me
that's
really well.
Not nothing.
But yeah, I got full blood work done, and I told my mom, I was like, yeah, the blood work came back like a little weird, but it's fine. And she was like, a little weird, how?
Yeah, right.
And I was like, oh, my liver, and she was like, your liver?
I'm having a very similar reaction to
She
your
was
mom.
like, are you an alcoholic? Essentially, and
Oh,
then
no.
and then she turned to like, are you keeping something from me about your illness?
What, like drug? You're lying about your illness.
I was like, no, what?
Whoa.
But yeah, I'm okay now. I don't have mono. I'm still kind of recovering. I
And-
guess this is just my life now.
The liver just kind of takes a beating when you're sick,
That's
right?
I think that's what it is. So
Okay.
yeah,
Shoot, girly.
I'm okay.
But you were also then alienated.
Yeah, because everyone was like, get your gross germs, which aren't mono or flu or COVID or strep. I got tested for all of them.
You
but
realize
keep
that,
it.
that doesn't make it better. That makes it more insidious. That's like,
Yeah, the mysterious bowling
Yeah.
ball head. Yeah.
right. Oh, it's just bowling ball head, but you can't answer like what it is or if it's communicable.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fair.
I should have been more generous.
I was like, let's do the pod. Who cares? And everyone was like, no one wants your bowling. No one
What's
wants
out?
bowling ball head.
Yeah. It's not a common cold that's knocking my girl out.
Okay.
So sorry, I didn't want to hang out with you this weekend.
No, it's fine.
Thank you.
Chicken's fine.
So like, what were you doing?
So with my mono time, I consumed a lot of media over the last week and weekend, which was actually really nice. It was nice to like, I hadn't just like had a quiet weekend to just like consume in a while, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
I watched several different things. I watched Gone Girls, the true crime documentary about the Gilgo Beach murderer?
No, thank you.
I'm one of those people who uses, like, true crime and, like, horror movies and, like, scary stuff as, like, a coping mechanism. Or, like, when life gets really hard and scary, I want to see things that are, like, scarier.
No, totally. Did you ever have to take English theory?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had different professors, though.
Who'd you have?
The guy who
we took it at the same time, but we had different professors.
Same time, different professors, and my guy had a bolo tie. Not
I
your
had
guy?
James Kim.
Yeah, you had James Kim, who, if he's ever listening to this, you were the best professor either of us ever had. Scared us shitless.
I loved him.
Yeah, you were really...
He gave me like a D on the midterm, and
oh my God,
I really had to come correct.
Yeah, whatever.
Another time.
But I remember a lot of the, like, theory where it's all very dense as theory is, but I remember one of my, like, enduring takeaways was around, like, the catharsis of horror. It's like exactly that experience of, like, the stress relief comes through experiencing even more heightened anxiety, and then the catharsis of knowing it's not actually for you. Yeah.
No, that's 100% what it is, and it started for me during COVID, where I got, like, really into the X-Files.
Yeah.
And, like, I was like, I just want to watch scary stuff because, like, life is scary.
Totally.
Culturally, it's scary, so I think that's exactly what it is, where it's, like, I like seeing, not like, because that makes it sound like, whatever, but, like, it is a release.
You're not, like, getting your rocks off.
No, God, no. Like the Gilgo
Dead
Beach
girls.
murderer.
Was that his thing? Sorry to assume a he. It's just that everyone who's ever killed serially is a man.
Weird. Yeah, check your privilege. He was
sexually gratifying
and
for him.
it was also sexually gratifying for him.
Very good.
And he was also killing sex workers. So nobody cared for several years.
Love that.
But that like, that angle of it was really interesting, like, the way we've treated sex workers historically, and, like, the way the police treat sex workers. Horrendous. And
they're often the ones abusing them.
Exactly, Molly. And that was, like, the part of the documentary that I found particularly interesting when they started, like, part of the reason it took so long to find the Gilgo Beach murderer was because of the corrupt Long Island police. I can't even get into it because I will go on and on. Mm-hmm. But basically, the longtime police chief in Suffolk County solved this, like, crazy child murder in, like, the 70s or 60s. And the way he solved it was that he, like, coerced this young kid into, like, giving what we assume was kind of like a false testimony about the two kids who ended up being put away for him. Mm-hmm. And then basically the police chief, like, rewarded him by giving him a job in the police, and he rose in the ranks over the years. And then the police chief eventually retired, brought in a new guy, and basically said, like, or no, I forget, whoever is above the police, someone who's elected.
Okay.
I forget. Yeah. But once he was elected, the guy who retired was like, you should, or I don't know if he was elected. Either way, when the new guy came in, he was like, you should make that guy police chief. And so he ended up making, like, that kid who made that false testimony all those years ago became police chief. Also,
and then he was in charge of the Gilgo Beach
He was in charge of the Gilgo Beach murders. And he is a person who, like, solicited sex workers and had a very interesting relationship with the industry in which he treated them horribly. And it all culminated, he basically was, like, treated the Gilgo murders like it wasn't.
Right.
And it's like
just
10
like
women
it was
have
probably
died,
him.
or however many women have. A lot of people thought that, but
really?
It didn't end up being him. But, like, he totally impeded the
right.
investigation. He ended up being arrested because he... it's so crazy. I can't even get into it. But, like, just that angle of it was super interesting in a gross way. But,
yeah.
Following that, the new season of Love on the Spectrum has me absolutely glued to the TV.
Yeah.
I cannot look away. I'm smiling ear to ear while I watch it. It's like I think I was saying this to Julia earlier today, like, this season it's like the All-Stars. It's like, and you just,
really?
and for people for the most part who haven't really found love yet, and you're just like, they're
Yeah.
like, ugh. And, like, it's better than any show on right now. I'm sorry. I'm, like, complete. And, like, the love stories. I think Brooke Averick posted something on Instagram where she was like, Connor, who's, like, everybody's favorite, like, is saying things on these dates that, like, romance writers wish they could think
He
of.
reads romance, though, doesn't he?
He is a
Isn't he the
fourth
one?
wing king.
He's a fourth wing king.
He also just lapsed into a British accent.
Oh,
He goes on one date with this girl,
Love.
Georgie, and is like, I am in love with her. And you're not like, yeah, sure you are, because he is so critical about every other woman he's, like, dated, where he's like, she doesn't read. Like, he'll say that, like, you don't read? Like, and I'm just like, it's like a beautiful slice of humanity every time I put on the show.
Georgie reciprocating his affections.
Georgie's like a perfect fit for him. I hope to God they stay together forever, because she's such a perfect fit for him. He's, like, always kind of nervous and freaking out, and she's like, do you want to kiss again? Like,
Sweet.
they're just really cute together. And
Darling.
his family is, like, I could watch them just, like, interact all day long. And then
Sweet
there's
family.
Tanner, who, like, I just hope he finds love one day. He's so sweet. And that's just really, I'm still watching that. I am, like, halfway through season 3. Whew.
I gotta be honest, both selections so far are
Not for you?
so not soothing to me.
Yeah.
Like deeply not soothing. It's just true crime, I can't do.
Yeah.
I don't have that catharsis reaction to it. I feel the anxiety of, and then I feel like, oh, the world is so bad, everything's so bad, and
Yeah.
everything compounds. It's not like,
Yeah.
I do like
you
to
start to
dabble through, like, you soften it for me and repackage it as
Yeah.
something digestible.
You probably like a true crime podcast where it's like,
I've got
maybe.
you.
Yeah,
I'll
true.
just chat with you.
yeah.
But then, like, Love on the Spectrum, it's like, I do love that kind of stuff, but it's not my, like, unwind
Yeah.
or, like, feel better kind of content,
Yeah.
because it's actually so painful to me
Yeah.
to watch people want something
Yeah.
and to not know if they'll have it, and to, like, really care about if they get it.
One thing I find really beautiful about the show is, like, seeing how much, like, the support systems around the cast of characters. It's like, even if they don't find love or, like, they have bad dates, it's like their families love them so much.
Yeah.
And, like, there's so much, I don't know, seeing, like,
I can't watch. Even you saying that, I'm gonna cry.
and it's a lot. I know
It's
I
beautiful.
almost
It's good
cry,
tears.
I almost cry all the time watching it because it's just so beautiful. And it's a lot of times, I will say, like, I've noticed, I don't know if this is, like, true or not, but it seems like it's a lot of, like, moms carrying the load. A lot of, like, divorced moms, or, like, yeah, and I just, like, it does break your heart a little bit.
Beautiful.
But it's also beautiful, yeah.
But it's just, I need to be in the mood for something that's going to be emotionally heavy,
get that.
even if the heaviness is actually quite
Yeah,
lovely.
good heaviness.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, I mean, and also I will say, like, it's one of the few TV shows where I'm, like, glued. Like,
Yeah,
I
totally.
can't miss.
And you love phone.
I love phone. Screen time's so high.
Actually, before this recording, Siege had a meeting with me and Jupes about how we need to get our screen time up. We got to be posting, we got to be viewing, we got to be
the
engaging.
girls on TikTok. Okay.
She wants us like a click farm. She wants us got like the 8
Literally.
phones in front of us. Liking,
Oh my god.
commenting.
Don't tell me something I'll never have.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, sorry. So what else did you
sorry, I'm talking so
No!
much. Okay.
You had a weekend alone and you need to unpack it.
Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk, I think, let me check my notes. The last thing I wanted to talk about was, I just randomly really wanted to watch Easy A on,
So real.
oh, I have one more thing after this.
It's an
Sorry.
all-timer.
It's an all-timer. That was a very, like, when I think back on my high school years, it's
Yes.
like, yeah, Jupes is nodding because I feel like we probably watched it together 1,000 times in her basement.
Love that.
Or mine. Yeah. But, like, yeah, that's just such a high school. Earlier, did you know? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt that. While we were in your apartment earlier, I was singing the theme song from the movie, and you started singing it too. And I was like, does she know I'm doing the Easy A theme song?
No, but
which
it
was
is.
da 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 da. And And she literally, like, we were both doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
And it just made me think about the work that we're doing here.
Yeah.
Because I think it's such a good example of, like, to me, that's a romance movie, but I don't think that everyone agrees with that. Because I think it does such a good job of balancing plot and romance. Like, you're so engaged with the plot, you're like, I love this girl, I want to see what she's doing, but then you're like, Ben Badgley.
Talk about...
Hunk alert. Yeah.
And talk about, like, an ending that you are, like, champing at the bit for. Like, you're like, give me those two.
Together.
Yeah. When he saves her from the bad date at his restaurant.
So good.
Oh, my God.
So
that
hot.
drive home. Like,
yeah.
So sweet. So intimate.
Yeah.
And, like, it deals in, like, difficult waters. Like, it treads in...
Yeah, like... assault?
Sex work and assault
yeah.
and you know, like, it's girls' reputations.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, high school Christianity, virginity. What is virginity?
Oh my God. And the guy, Lisa Kudrow, and English teacher arc. Whoa.
Right. That movie
STIs. It's got the whole. It's got everything.
It's a full package.
Oh my God.
Literary references.
And we haven't even mentioned the Tucci and Patricia.
Whoa. Yeah, we haven't. Spell it with your P's is something we still say all the time.
That and T.
Tallywecker.
I'm adopted. Who told him?
So funny.
So good.
So good. That's a family I wanted to be in when I was in high school.
Completely.
I was like, adopt me too.
Oh my God. A gentleman caller.
Hooray.
Just like doing a bit with your mom, falling into it when a boy who literally doesn't know you guys very well is at the door like, could I just have a conversation with one of you? It's a perfect.
It's so lived in. Like, it's like, and that's like the sets are good, the clothes are good.
Oh my
like,
God.
Yeah, so that was just like return to my roots.
Totally.
Loved watching that.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I have to talk about.
Totally.
I'm sorry. And I can't not talk about it because I'm obsessed with it now.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about it before on the pod, and I was like, I'll get to it. The Pit.
Yeah. Yep.
The Pit means so much to me. I love The Pit so much. And, like, Pit Twitter is literally, like, we love The Pit. And I'm, like, I'm fully in it. I'm, like... Also, I think I'm... Like, this is some... Again, we might have to cut this, but I'm, like...
You have a crush on him?
Yes! Juice just said you have a crush on him. I am going through something...
Why would we have to cut that?
Because, like, you'll see...
What if he sees this?
No, you'll see where I'm going. Like...
Do you think he's real?
Let me get this out.
Do you think of him when you hold your warmie?
Yes, I forgot to talk about my warmies. Put a pin in that. Anyway, I'm like developing into like I need a zaddy in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but Dr. Robbie is like really triggering something in me. Also, I just want to say that the nurse in that show is... I've never seen a better casting in my life. I believe that woman worked an 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. shift at the emergency department in Pittsburgh and then went to work on this show. After. Reveal, I worked in a hospital in high school.
You did.
And she just reminds me of every, like, no bullshit Pennsylvania nurse I've ever met.
Hell yeah.
And I love her. I would die for her. And she's so well styled. She's got this, like, white blonde hair color, always wearing a gold cross, and her scrubs are, like, high-waisted. And I just am obsessed with her.
Yeah.
And, like, double piercings. Like, something about her is just, like... But she's, like, a
Perfect.
mom. Like, I want her to, like, make me a tea.
Also, she has a great relationship with Robbie.
Oh, yeah. Makes me a little jealous. Jupe said also she has a great relationship with Dr. Robbie.
So mommy has a good relationship with daddy, and baby's jealous.
Baby wants them both.
Baby makes 3. Okay, yeah.
So I am now done with everything that I watched.
Well, hang on. We have a pin we should return to. Warmies. Because you haven't been watching alone, have you? You'll never watch alone again.
I've welcomed 2 new spirits into my home. Yeah, I'll never be alone again. Thank you. And, you know, they were there. Actually, this was before I got the second one. My warmie was there for me during mono. So...
Yeah, it turns out that the medicine for this new disease, bowling ball head, is mail order stuffed animal that goes in
say it like that.
goes in microwave and then sits on top of you.
Don't knock it till you
Yeah.
try it,
Hey, listen, I'm not opposed to a warmie.
Jupes introduced me to the warmie. If you're not familiar, it is a like weighted. Thank you. It's a weighted stuffed animal filled with like I don't even want to know. And it's
Like lavender
scented
seeds.
like a lavender.
I don't like that scent.
Yeah. My new one is a little heavy on it, to be honest. You put it in the microwave for like a minute, and then it's like this warm little guy. And you cuddle with him, and it's very soothing, especially when you have bowling ball head. But I initially bought one, like a little hippo, and I thought it was going to be a big hippo, and it came and it was like a dinky.
And it was like for babies or something?
It was like for kids? Don't they know I'm 30? I'm 30? So I was like, the hippo was great over the weekend, but I was like, I need...
It was good for a fling, but...
It didn't see long-term potential. It's no Dr. Robbie. So I was like, give me the biggest warmie you have. And I got a cow that I'm really enjoying. But here's the thing. Last night I put it in the microwave. Oh, also I forgot to say, the warmie arrived in a clear plastic bag. Like a hostage.
Yeah, they, at the distribution center, they said, this girl's 30, give her the clear bag.
Let all of her 85-year-old neighbors know what she's doing. And so I opened the door the other day, and the warmie is staring up at me. I was like, oh my god, get in here.
Get in here.
But I put him in the microwave last night, and he came out kind of moist. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it go away after a minute?
Why?
I don't have science to back this up.
Well, also, Lil Mama from college messaged me about my stories, and she was like, my dog brings stuffed animals home all the time and recently brought home a warmie. and I ripped into he ripped into it, and I saw what's inside of there, and please don't ever look up what's inside of there. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
And
shit.
she said it really scarred her. But it came out a little bit moist, which my hippo was not doing. And also, the cow is like really strongly lavender scented.
That'll go away with time.
Okay, because now I'm like, do I have to get a third
cooking
warmie?
it. Yeah, okay, one thing we did do while you were in your leper colony on your isolation cabin,
Yeah.
we, on a FaceTime, mutually browsed the Warby website.
Yeah, we did. That was nice.
CJ and I spent like 20 minutes, and it's
forgot
just
about that.
silence as we scroll on a shared screen, and then everyone's like, oh, flamingo. Scroll, scroll. Dragon. Scroll, scroll, scroll. I don't like chicken.
And we were almost always on the same page. I was like, chicken sucks.
Totally.
We really liked, and I if Amazon had it, I would have gone with it. The goose.
Goose was so
I loved Goose.
good. I loved Goose. Yeah. What was that thing we hated that there were so many of?
Oh, it was like xylitol or something.
Zoddle Doddle.
Do you know what it is? Axolotl. It was an axolotl. What is it?
It's like a little, like, Not like a prehistoric lizard, but
But
it's like a little prehistoric lizardfish.
there are like 7 different versions of the axolotl wormy.
Like, and no other species got so many different, like, variants.
Very
It's like,
creepy, very
yeah.
bad. We hated any wormy that was pale pink.
The pink cow. Don't worry, my cow's normal.
Yeah, better be.
Better be.
So that's nice.
That's that.
Yeah.
I am reading 2 books right now, but I haven't made much progress on them because I've been really busy watching things.
Totally.
And I haven't read books written by men in so long. It's just like not something I do. But one I just sort of like have heard a lot of good things about, and I think I'm only like 10 pages in, but I have a feeling
10 pages. Hey, listen.
Oh,
when
The
you talked
Bodyguard.
about The Bodyguard 10 pages in, dramatically different.
That's fair. That is really fair.
Go ahead.
But I've heard like only good things about this book from like a lot of people I trust have told me that this book is good, including my soon-to-be sister-in-law, Megan.
Oh, nice.
But it is The House of the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune.
Okay.
Jupes, have you read it?
Yes, of course
Sorry.
I read it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You were probably one of the people I trust.
So the bruise we're pressing on here is Jupes will recommend things to Siege, and Siege will not take that recommendation seriously until she gets it from a different party. That is Jupes' account.
That's yes.
And Siege's account would be no.
Okay, jury. I take your point, and I respect it. I'm so sorry that I didn't hear you. But I have heard amazing things. Did you love it? Yeah.
Would I like it?
Yeah, I think so.
I was gonna say I think you maybe would because it's like magic.
It's for babies.
I think maybe you could put on your cape and hold your wand and read it.
Get you a dragon. But I'm only 10 pages in. But it's definitely, I feel like it's a world buildy, like very like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think I've heard that there's a romance, but it's for babies. Yeah.
Okay.
But I had to put that
like
down.
Harry Potter babies or like Percy Jackson babies.
I thought you said Pussy Jackson.
That's the fanfic I'm writing. Pussy Jackson. And it finally goes there. Alright.
Finally. I had to put it down though because I forgot that we have book club next week, and I was like, "Oh, my god. Yeah." Tell me about it. And the book club book was also written by a man,
Okay.
so I'm doing men right now.
Yep. Remind me, what's the book?
The book is called Heaven and Earth Grocery Store.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm not
That's
gonna,
been on my list.
I'll be honest with you. So far, it's a bit of a slog. It's a bit of a slog.
Okay.
Just as the writing is very like, not like heavy in the writing quality, not in the material. I just feel like I'm like,
It's like literary fiction, right? Like
for
it's
sure.
like-
And maybe I just need to. Maybe I've been reading a lot of books for babies.
Literally, we talked about our reading levels a few episodes. Well, I think I'm reading below my reading level. An insane thing for an adult to say. But maybe it's time we remind ourselves what
Of
our
our
reading level
power.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm like so many words. Oy. The one thing that's keeping me going, and Jupe's like, no, you're gonna hear me on this, is it takes place in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and I keep being like, I know that place. There's a part where he's like, they went down to Interstate 76, which is so funny because
Come on, say it in the accent, though.
Interstate 76, but no one would say it like that because it's more like, I'm gonna go take 76 or the Schuylkill.
Schuylkill.
Most people would say the Schuylkill.
Well,
Sorry. Did
no.
someone slip me an Adderall? I am like...
Like 1,000 milligrams of caffeine. Did someone slip me an Adderall? You literally just said slugging my Monster Energy.
I am not gonna sleep tonight.
It's like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm interested that you're reading books written by men, because the one reading that I wanted to bring up, I am currently kind of slowly making my way through Good Material by Dolly Alderton.
Yes.
And you've read her before.
I read Everything I Know About Love.
Which is
I
memoir,
think
right?
so. Yes.
This is a novel. And obviously she's a woman, but it's written from, at least as far as I've read, it's written from the point of view of a male protagonist. I'm not that far into it, probably like 20%. But really interesting because it's like a romance.
Yeah.
And like, I hope this isn't a spoiler because it's at the very beginning, but it's all about like a breakup. And like the protagonist is a comedian and he's using the breakup, like Good Material speaks to like his processing his pain through his craft.
Oh my God.
But like right now I'm just in like the thick of the pain part of it. And it's interesting because I think like on the pod previously we've talked about like how rarely like you get the interior of the man in the relationship just because like largely like protagonists in romance are women.
Yeah.
But like especially this guy, and yeah, he's like very sentimental. It's like even part of like why they are breaking up, but it's like I don't know, it's a refreshing perspective, and it's like kind of, I like it right now because it's like he's pretty pathetic, and he like really leans into it, but it's also like just gut-wrenching like heartbreak.
Wow, men feel that?
I suppose.
Well, I guess that's a question I have. Do you think that that's, like, truthfully rendered? Like, do you think that she does a good job of, like,
I think
getting in a man's head?
I mean, I've never lived there.
Yeah. Well, true. Can we even answer that question? I don't know.
But, like, from his actions, like, it's interesting to see how terrible he feels. And then have those feelings mapped to actions that are very identifiable. Like, he's just like a fuddy-duddy. Like, he like makes his mom kind of take care of him, and like keeps like kind of calling her, and he like won't tell his best friend that they broke up, even though his best friend is married to her best friend. So her best friend's having to keep this secret from her husband. He's like,
is he Irish?
The vibe is very,
the vibe is Ireland.
English, but like, you know, I don't know. But yeah, it's like, I think it actually is, it's very interestingly rendered. If not, like, who knows if truthful, but like, you're getting like acute pain, but then like manifest in very like typically male presentations, that like would be really annoying if we were reading the book from her perspective. But because it's from him, it's actually really refreshing. It's like you're pathetic, but you're in so much pain.
Like what?
Like the stuff he does? That's pathetic. It, like day drinking and like making his, like living on his mom's couch and like kind of like burdening his mom's friends with his sob story. like appealing to every woman in his life. Like, isn't it so sad what happened to me? like going to Fringe Fest and like being bad.
Oh my God.
Actually,
every like story about a comedian ends at Fringe Fest. It's like, and then they took it to Fringe Fest. The festival, whatever it's called, Fringe.
Whatever, Fringe. Yeah, and I'm again not that far into it, but it's like definitely a refreshing perspective. And I'm kind of interested in hearing what this guy has to say, not because he's really compelling, but because like the unusual perspective is.
I think that is really interesting, and I kind of only want to be in a man's head if it's a woman who's telling me about it.
Well, and you know what, I did think of Sally Rooney while I was reading, because she can write really convincing,
that's what I was gonna say,
male characters, despite being a woman author. And I think that's what's happening here too. It is just like really understanding people. Like, which is that's high all empathy. It is. And I think it's also interesting that Dolly started in memoir, like, which is like memoirs are often like meditations on the human experience, your own human experience. Like, I see threads of that in her fiction writing too, where it's really like a character study, like interested in the motives and the interiority. I don't know. I like it.
Would you recommend it?
So far, and it's funny. Like, talk about like writing
funny
something stuff. Where like you believe that this person could be a professional comedian. Like, it's funny. I
think that's also like, it's probably easier to be funny in a memoir than it is maybe in fiction, because it's like you're just writing your life. I feel like it would be
Well,
easier
I think
than-
like it's more accessible to you because
Yeah.
you literally do autobiographical comedy as a stand-up.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess so.
But
I think just also like, I don't know. I feel like writing funny stuff that someone else said is like kind of hard,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not hard, but it's just different. And
different,
like,
yeah.
yeah, right. I don't. Yeah, maybe it is just coming from like a stand-up perspective, but
No, but it's like a very different muscle. It's
Yeah.
more like screenwriting almost.
right.
than-
But
yeah.
maybe having that memoir background has helped her
Yeah,
be funny in fiction as well.
I think that's a great point. Yeah. Was her memoir funny? I haven't read it.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't have like I feel like that came like super highly recommended. People were like, "You got to read Everything I Know About Love," and I was kind of like, so maybe it fell a little bit flat, but I did really enjoy it. I think it's a really good like exploration of female friendship because it's
Oh,
really
cool.
mostly about her friendship with like her best friend. And
Cool.
like how it changes when she gets married and like all of this stuff and how like Dolly had a longer timeline to like relationships. It's all about her like dating life and
The other thing I consumed this week that I want to talk about that I feel like everyone consumed this week was
Yeah.
the finale to White Lotus.
yes,
Which I think has gotten kind of a mixed response. Like
Yeah.
people, I think like, you know, we're at that like stage of the maturation curve and like White Lotus's total history where now people are like,
being critical.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like comparing it to previous seasons and
Yeah.
like wanting it to be the same, but at the same time like getting angry if it is.
Totally.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
And what I really want to talk about is not the plot or like how they
Ooh.
wrapped it up. But
So
I want to talk
exciting.
about Mike White as a creator.
Okay.
So like I love the guy.
Same.
And I love that like I think it's like fair to focus the study of White Lotus on him because he keeps such like singular creative control
Yeah.
over those projects. Like it's him.
Yeah.
I think what's like really compelling, like he, and I think this is so much like good validating power for your protagonist Nell.
Oh.
But
yes.
Mike White is a reality TV head.
Yes.
He has made no secret of
Yes.
that. Like the man was on Survivor. He was a contestant on Survivor after he achieved pretty mainstream success in the industry. Because he loves that shit.
Yeah.
He is a lifelong fan of Survivor. He loves Real Housewives.
Yeah.
He has made that very, very clear. And even the way he does press is like Housewives.
You're so right.
Like he just like he does a confessional take.
Yeah.
When he'll be talking to the New York fucking Times and he's like, yeah, I just think it's weird that like composer like came for my ass that way because like or
That
like
quote was so good.
so good.
Yeah, and he even said he was like, he's like thinks he's highbrow. I fucking watch the reality. I watch the Housewives. Like, come for me.
come from
Yeah.
right. And like he is producing really elevated
Yes, yes.
work, I
oh my
think.
god, I'm getting yeah.
like yes, but and in so doing he's validating the inputs too.
Yes.
He's like, no, like that's really rich source material.
Yeah.
Housewives, reality,
Like that is good stuff.
that's good stuff. It
Yeah.
informs his understanding of humanity and lets him write into these other experiences. Like,
Yeah.
like those three women, Carrie Coons, Leslie Bibb,
Yeah.
and Michelle Moynihan, like, whoa.
Whoa.
Did he demonstrate an understanding of, like, a particular kind of female friendship among a particular kind of woman. Like,
Totally.
and it was so good. Like, I
Yeah.
think that was one of the, like, really, like, resonant emotional spots, like, soft spots of the whole third series, but also the finale
Yeah.
particularly. When they're at that dinner and Carrie's doing her thing, like, I'm glad you have a beautiful face. I'm glad you have a
Yeah.
beautiful life. I'm happy to be at I'm glad I get to sit at the
Yeah.
table. Like,
Like I loved. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I loved how it was like it was kind of like I kind of think you're both bitches.
but at the same time,
But I fuck with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that like, even if it's not particularly, like,
Perfect or
fond
good.
or even enriching,
Yeah.
like, it matters.
It
and it makes
matters.
me matter,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like, he gets it.
Yeah, I one thing I won't stand for is criticism of that scene.
It's perfect.
I thought it was and like maybe that makes me toxic, but I was like, no, that is a correct.
Yes. Completely.
That's a scene I've lived.
Yes. And he's
Sorry.
right. And he's able to to bring that to our screens so relatably,
Yeah.
so like movingly, I
Because
think because of his reality TV
I
consumption.
could not agree more. We as a culture need to talk more about how the Real Housewives is like, maybe not now, but in its like true prime was some of the best. Like you can't make TV better than that. Like
Totally.
and I totally agree. I think it's like and actually, oh my god, this is like giving me ideas for my book where
Yeah.
I'm like, because you know my big struggle is how do I,
Right.
where does she end up?
Yeah.
And it's just giving me, yeah, because like, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I just think like, and you're right, like I think reality TV has like then kind of cannibalized itself in weird ways where now like people might be on it to like
Yeah.
get certain, it's a means to a certain end,
Yeah.
and then like they're self-producing or whatever. But that early era reality television, and we see it in what happened to the participants, like
Yeah.
they kind of gave up a lot, like
Yeah.
and their lives have turned out varying degrees of successful because they are like leaving it all on
Yeah,
the court.
Which I still can't even. We talked about this recently. Like I can't even get into the head of how some of the Real Housewives of New York, like why they were so like, yeah, I'll get so drunk on TV
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
say the craziest thing you've ever heard.
But
Like
we were watching like really human shit.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like they just don't make it like that anymore.
They sure don't. But I think what a rich source text really. Like and
Yeah.
Mike White is so right to mine it and
Yeah.
does so really well.
Yeah. Oh, I find that very inspiring.
Yeah, totes. I mean, the guy's got it.
There was a tweet I saw about White Lotus that it kind of relates to this conversation that I really liked.
Sure.
I'm so pro White Lotus and his writing style that like I didn't even see a lot of the things people are criticizing him for, and then after the fact I'm like, oh, that's fair. But a lot of them I'm like, no. But this one is gonna take me a minute to find. I did think was really fair. Someone on Twitter said, Carrie Coon monologue proving how amazing Mike White's writing can be when it's not explicitly making the subtext text. And I do think that's, to your point, like something having a writer's room is probably beneficial for, like doing those scenes where you're like, you gotta make the subtext, like you gotta weave the subtext in well, because like it's probably just a symptom of like writing so much that you can't do it well all the time.
Right.
But I think that's a really good point, is like he does sometimes make the subtext text. And one of the examples someone pulled out was like when Lachlan says at the end, like, I'm in a family of narcissists, like I'm a people pleaser in a family of narcissists.
Right.
It's like not something a 17-year-old boy.
We got it when you jerked off your brother.
Right. And that was really, again, not to be an incest apologist, I just thought that was a really, like, yeah, we got it.
We got it. Yeah.
And for that reason, it was a good plot device.
Yeah.
I don't like the incest. I just thought it was well, whatever. I thought it was an interesting plot device. And kudos to Mike White for doing something different. Taking a risk that made people uncomfortable.
I just want to see how long she'll keep it.
All right. Okay. All right.
No one is fighting me on it. I'm like, and it's fine.
Am I condoning it? It's like, no. Did I think it was relevant?
But yeah, like, that's just not something a 17-year-old boy says. Whereas,
No.
like, this stuff with Carrie Coon, it's like, I completely... And really... That tweet has lodged itself in my brain.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
wow, that is the thing you have to do all the time. Not so much with books, but, like, I think in dialogue, that's the key. Not making the subtext text.
Yep. Totally. And that particular scene was a masterclass in it. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I've got for culture I've consumed this week. I
Alright.
think we have to talk about the writing.
The work. How's it going for you?
Well, I mean, going.
Yeah.
How about you?
I forced myself to... I was like, I'm not coming to the pod without having started the book.
Sure.
That was my personal goal for the week. I've written 1,000 words, which, listen, it sounds like a lot. It's 2 pages.
Still good.
But I am
Not nothing.
proud that there are words on a page.
Yeah, and they're
So,
your words.
Yeah.
On your page.
should I talk about, like, my feelings?
Yeah, what I'll say is I will not disclose my word count at this time. Whatever
It's not
is
a
popping into your
It's
head
not. Yeah, sorry. I
is
didn't mean
probably right. Yeah, no, talk about how it makes you feel.
I'll just say I'm starting straight from the beginning because it was the point you made in a past episode. I am, like, definitely writing my way into it. I don't know a lot of what's going to happen in the book, so I'm just like, let's just go for it.
And you did the work of the plotting first.
Yeah, totally.
Now it's time to be a little
Now,
bit pants.
now it's time to be a little bit of a pantser. You're so right.
Yeah.
I did enough plotting to be comfortable to start pantsing.
Yay. Be pantsing.
Let's get to pantsing. I do like starting from the beginning because it's, like, giving me a chance to establish the characters, the place, etc. But it's also, there's so much you have to do in the first chapter, and I'm finding that very overwhelming. It's like, yes, thank you for the opportunity to define all these things, but also I feel such a weight about having to define all of these things, like her job, and, like, you gotta make sure people know what her personality is like, but also understand what her day looks like, because I'm trying to do, like, a day at the office. That's kind of like how I'm starting it.
So is mine.
Hell yeah. Worker bees.
Worker bees.
Sorry.
No, I totally agree. First chapter, and, you know, we're both using Save the Cat's 15 beats. So it's that opening scene that's meant to, like, convey a lot of data.
Yeah.
But at the same time be, like, super brief and
tight.
Tight copy. That's the mandate of the first chapter. And talk about chapter, I'm, like, feeling very, and I think this is also, it dovetails with, like, the write without editing kind of, you know, challenge we've talked through.
Yeah.
But first chapter, opening sentence. I feel like there's so much, like, high school English classes, like, you would, like, do that thing where you, like, evaluated first sentences of, like, famous literature. It is a truth universally acknowledged. Like, that's your opener.
Yeah, it's gotta be strong.
It's gotta be, it's the lead of your book.
Yeah, it's got a hook. It's got a hook.
Yeah, and that's lead, L-E-D-E, which I did
English
not...
major. Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
Only recently was I reminded that that's how that's spelled. Yeah, no, there's a lot on it, and I'm actually having a hard time not going back and editing the first chapter particularly because it does so much, like, establishing work.
Okay, that's actually setting me free a little bit because I feel the same exact way. And I've tried to hold back on editing.
Yeah.
But I think there are things, like, I just jumped into it, and then I was like, wait a minute, I gotta add a best friend. And I, like, put her in there, and so then I did kind of have to rewrite again, 2 pages, but, like, I had to write her in, and so I ended up kind of editing around that. So I totally agree. I think the first chapter, there is going to be some, like, degree of editing as we go.
It's a load-bearing chapter.
Yeah, but I don't want to... I'm trying to avoid just, like, copy editing, if that makes sense.
Editing myself to oblivion.
But, like, I think plot editing is fine. I think is so how I'm viewing it.
And I am getting a little bogged down in the stylistic editing. And, like, girl, let it go.
Yeah. I had another thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, what else you got?
Yeah, I'm also, I think, like, with all these details you have to have in the first chapter and, like, establishing the characters and the world, I'm having a hard time, like, and I think I need to just reread the first chapter of a book I like.
That's kind of where I've gotten.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if this is me, like, avoiding the word.
I know. It's so hard to know with a pantser.
Totally, but I'm going to read books I like, and then I'm
Yeah.
also going back to, like, writing manuals, like books about writing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wait, did I prematurely jump in? Should I go back to the
brush up on my English?
Right, which is so stupid,
No, I'm kidding.
but
yeah.
No, yeah. I hope it's not just an avoidance, classic avoidance tactic out of me.
I felt the same way. I was like, maybe I just read a book I like, and then I was like, no, Claire, return to the work.
Return to the work.
But that is part of the work. So, but yeah, I just like I don't want to overwhelm the reader, I think is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But it's also like I have to remember this is a first draft.
It's
Like
a
we are
first
working
draft.
out the kinks. So, it's all good.
It is. It is.
It is.
I to the end of like, wait, should I just get a little bit more formal training before I'm talking about an Audible original. So
The number of times I've heard you say, I really want to talk about an Audible original. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay. It's called When Love Strikes by Laura Lynn Page. You'd think Laura Lynn, 2 words, Southern, like Jamie Lynn
Yeah,
Spears.
totally.
One
word.
Like Laurel.
Laurel in. Like Laurel in.
Laurel in. Yeah. Crazy. So she did this like audio only like guide to romance writing.
Oh.
I don't know what makes
You've
her
just been hiding away in your little cave, not sharing any of your little secrets, huh?
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't think
You don't
most
think...
of what she shares is very useful. It's like very obvious for the most part.
Okay.
But here's the bee that she did put in my bonnet.
Yeah.
She leans heavily on like romance it's genre fiction, and so it is entirely reliant on reader expectation. Like
Ooh.
romance, like by definition, it's like Shakespeare's the comedies end
Yeah.
in a wedding. Like there's the expectation around romance that it will end in a happy ending, and you have to keep that contract with your reader.
Yeah.
Else they will be quite disappointed with you. And she's like, and then sub genres like subsequent to that genre specific expectation are these trope specific expectations, because
Okay.
romance is so reliant on tropes, and then readers build such affinities around tropes.
Yeah.
And I think part of what she is doing with her Audible original is like speaking to both the commercial building blocks of a novel and also the like, you know, literary building blocks.
Yeah.
And she's like, keep it simple, stupid. Play to the fans. Like,
Laurel Lynn has got my number there.
And
She's right.
she's like, don't think you're like, you got to know the rules to break the
Yeah.
rules. You can't just say, I'm
Make
going to
the
sit down
rules.
and write my first novel. It's going to subvert all trope expectations. It's going to be like, your reader doesn't trust you to play with the rules yet.
I think she's right. Your reader doesn't want you to.
The reader's like,
The reader's like, more medicine, please.
I have a 3rd grade reading level. I'm just like, so now.
Totally, you're right. Yeah.
And Laura Lynn now,
I can't get over her name, I'm sorry.
she pops up in my dreams now, and she's like, you don't have any tropes. You don't know your tropes.
Yes, you do.
Oh, well, I don't know if I've nailed them yet. And so now I'm returning to my outline, and I'm like kind of going, I'm zooming out again, and I'm saying, do I have the right tropes, and am I actually...
Don't let Laurel Lynn in your head anymore.
Because it's important to even just like get off the ground, being able to say, yep, this is a workplace enemies to romance with forced proximity.
Sure, but I think you do have tropes. I mean, you've got like love triangle. That's certainly a trope, right? And like I think you will find tropes within your structure. I think yours does give you like room. Like, I don't think it's too late for you to find your trope.
But I need to now. I need to go rooting around for a trope like a truffle peg. I'm not done until I find it. Or multiple of them.
Sure, you're allowed to have a few.
Laurel Lynn would have you packing your book with 3 or 4 tropes.
She's doing the opposite of Coco Chanel.
Before you leave the house, put one more trope on. That's what Laura Lynn wants.
Now I'm worried I don't have enough tropes.
Yeah, we should all be worried. And she's like, like, but also she uses tropes so broadly in her
Right.
examples. She's like, for example, Regency. I'm like, Regency
Yeah,
is
that's
a
fair.
trope? What the fuck? And she's
Yeah, like,
like,
what are we defining as a trope? I think that's
I w-
is a trope just like something a girl likes.
and like the other thing Laura Lynn says is like the best part about tropes. It saves you so much work. It makes so many of your decisions for you.
She is right about that, I think.
Yeah, she's like,
And it's not like that's a bad thing, you know?
No.
It's like that there's a reason why we love romance novels so much, like what you're saying. And there's a reason why we're writing them. It's like it's yum yum medicine.
yes,
Like
it's what the reader wants
Yeah.
for their medicine, and it's what the doctor wants because they keep getting paid by Big Pharma. So, like,
everybody wins.
why am I resisting?
Yeah. I think you're resisting because you are I think you probably are capable of more than the Laurel Lynn. If she needs like the Laurel Lynn system, like, I think if you wanted to, you certainly could write outside of this, like. But I get what you mean, where it's like I get what she means, I guess.
Yeah.
Where first you have to have the formula before you can break it.
How about I just write to the fucking formula first?
Yeah,
And then in
and then you can
editing,
make it, yeah.
maybe I want to do something. But, like, girl,
Yeah.
I gotta just pick a trope.
I went to the Stephen King school of, can I please just be good?
Totally, yeah. Stephen King made me believe I could do more than I can.
Which I
Laura
just want to
Lynn
say, I
is taking me
really
back down
believe
to-
you can do whatever you
Hey,
want.
no, Stephen King told me I could be anything. Laura Lynn told me I can be a secretary, a marketer, or what's another woman's job?
I'm a marketer in every lifetime.
So,
So, one last thing, sorry, to say, is that I'm having and I feel like I've mentioned this, or I've tried to at least talk about it, but I don't know if I have done it well, that, like, I am having a hard time with dialogue, specifically attributions.
totally. I want to talk about this.
So exhausted by the he said, she said, she said, he said.
So I drop them, and then it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Totally. Who said what? Who's on third?
Alphabet soup. It's just jazz.
And I'm like, this jazz hits, and it's like, your jazz sounds crazy to the untrained ear.
Show it to someone. It's like, could a depressed person make this?
Totally. Yeah. It's like, is there a character I didn't even know about? Who is saying this
To me,
shit?
it's like, "Dibba-dabba-da-da," and then to you, it's like, honk,
Yes.
honk.
Which is like, when we get to a point where we can switch and read each
Yeah.
other's, but I'm certainly not
Oh,
there.
God, no. Dialogue attribution. That's another thing I'm trying to, like, have a higher sensitivity for while I'm reading.
Yes.
Like,
I
what
completely
are
agree.
other people doing?
How are you guys doing this?
How are you having them talk to each other?
But I think it must be, and I will just have to do research on this, and by that I mean read a smut.
Yeah, totally.
But I think it must be so. They probably do just do like he said, she said, so much that I don't even notice it. Like I probably don't even really read it half the time. I'm just kind of like. I'm probably doing the jazz in my head.
You're right.
My own jazz, like I'm putting my jazz spin on it.
Right.
When
the music hits.
Here we go with our synesthesia again. By ours, I mean yours.
Ours. What's mine is yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's actually really difficult.
Yeah.
Hating that part. Hey, wait, I want to say something else that Laura Lynn taught me.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, this is actually a little related to my book, but something I didn't know. Have you heard of New Adult?
Huh?
Yeah, it's
Is
like
that like a a music channel on my TV in 2003.
Have you heard of the Lord our Savior? Jesus Christ. No, new
Laurel
adult.
Lynn for sure has subliminal messaging.
I totally. She's God
she rides
bombing
hard
me.
for Jesus.
Yeah. No, new adult is apparently a category of fiction. So there's young adult, which speaks to like adolescence.
Pussy Jackson.
Pussy Jackson. And then there's new adult.
Okay.
Where your characters are like 18 to mid 20s. And it's like the category, like the criteria would be that they're on their own. They're like, that's kind of the underlying themes of new adult literature. It's like people left to their own devices, figuring out how to do that.
I love that.
Totally. And I didn't know it was a category. And when I was in that phase of my life, I always felt like it was kind of like an undersaturated category.
I actually remember you saying that a lot.
Yeah. Like I remember in college being like, I really want to read just like good, like fiction about people in college.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like literary fiction that focuses on like universities or like, you know, like I'm thinking of Secret Society. What's the Donna Tartt book?
Oh, Secret History.
Secret History. Crazy.
Yeah.
So like I feel like it's like a place where academics like will set kind of like literary or academic type books, but like I'm looking for smut that's in college.
Totally. I think there is a market for that. That's like why like I feel like you said this when Sex Lives of College Girls came out. It's like that, or maybe someone said it. There was totally a gap in the market there for something.
No, this is something I've long felt.
Yeah.
Like and all the college shows were like frat shows. It was like Blue Mountain State or Greek. And I was looking for something that was like more broadly representative.
And it is like the sexiest time in a young woman's life.
It sure is.
And
I do think
for some.
For a
lot of my friends, it was the sexiest time of their lives. I enjoyed the show. Sorry. Okay.
She's not talking about me. Okay. I don't know what you're alluding to. Yeah, no, but I think I've already shared that a potential love interest that comes back into the picture is a college ex in my book, and I wonder if I might do like a flashback. To try to like write in that space.
Test the waters a little bit.
Yeah, just like a little dabble. Maybe I'll do it if nothing more as an exercise to like better understand the characters. But like
I love
maybe
a flashback
in
a book, especially to college. I am
like
locked in.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Thanks, Laura Lynn.
Love that girl.
Yeah. Wait. Also. This like was something I've been meaning to say like since we started this podcast, but it was her literal.
I'm sorry for silencing you.
yeah. Could you stop doing
that?
No, it was literally Laura Lynn's name that jogged my memory. I want to talk just like a little bit. You know how Stephen King's like, I fucking hate adverbs.
Yeah.
Particularly adverbs and dialogue attribution.
Yeah.
There are some words that like really I get this is different than like a overall a recurring style choice. It's just, but it is to me a category of words, and it's words like Laurel Lynn.
Tough.
Okay, here are examples. My least favorite word of all time: highfalutin.
Yeah.
I've given you this pitch 1,000 times. Here's why I hate it. It sounds like an ing verb or gerund that drops the G. Which is like a hillbilly way to speak.
Yeah.
But
it sounds like something Laura Lynn would say.
Laura Lynn says highfalutin.
Yeah.
But the actual meaning of the word is like super elevated. And like I hate that the meaning of the word is so different from how it sounds phonically. This came up for me in Laura Lynn's Audible original. She used the word huckster.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And Taylor Swift in her fucking song that's like the hucksters all out glad handing each other. What is that line?
The hucksters all out glad handing each other. Yeah. Is that right?
I don't know. But those words are of the exact category. I hate hucksters glad handing. Like it's all like words that are like you use them when you want to sound a
Yes.
cut above.
Yeah.
But the words themselves sound like hee-haw, hee-haw, highfalutin, hugster, glad-handing.
Yeah.
Like, you think they sound elevated because they're uncommon,
Yeah.
but the actual, like, phonetic sound of them,
Yeah.
and, like, I don't know their etymology, but I have to,
It's not. It's American for sure.
yeah, and it's for, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
people sucking on grain. You know.
I got
Yeah,
there.
the guy
yeah.
who has a bit of wheat in his mouth.
You know him. Yeah. No, I see him.
I
Yeah.
gotta go to bed. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. And
I
I
hate
feel like
those words.
I said this the last time you pitched me on this. You know what my favorite word is?
What?
You're crying. What?
Say it.
Lunch.
It's such a good word.
It's my favorite word.
It's a perfect word.
That sounds exactly what it's like. Lunch.
Lunch.
Yum.
It's a perfect word.
It's got such a good mouthfeel.
What a great choice. Yeah, lunch.
Thanks.
Yep.
Well, I'm so glad you got that off your chest, Huckster. What does Huckster mean, anyway?
I think it's like a scammer. Yeah, can you fact check that for us?
That's a word that sounds like what it is,
Yeah,
Huckster, for
a
sure.
person who sells small items, either door or from a
Wait,
stall.
what? Okay, different.
Yeah.
A huckster's a peddler of wares.
Beautiful. I'd rather hear peddler any day.
Peddler, good
Peddler.
word.
Peddler.
Huckster, Huckleberry Huckster.
Sounds like the worst guy I know.
Shut up, yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up about hucksters, Taylor Swift.
She is one of those people, love her to death, who just like...
Put away the thesaurus.
Yeah, who wants to just shove some words that she learned for Scrabble
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah. So, like, we get it. We're doing the writing. We can't really bring you in on some of that, but we're trying.
Yeah.
We are, however, like, I'm listening to Laura Lynn, like, we're doing a lot of extracurricular stuff to try to improve the writing and propel
Like,
the
I'm watching the
process. Yeah. And we're gonna share more of that. We got a good one coming up next week.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to a debut publishing like crash course from McNally Jackson, an independent bookstore throughout New York City, and talk about that experience.
Yeah.
Next time.
May I ask you, what was the most romantic thing that happened to you this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
I might do the same. Fuck it.
Excellent. Okay.
Jeeps is like, I'm gonna kill myself.
No, they're both right. My most romantic is so for our 30th birthdays, which people forget very recent.
Still AOE season.
You still
By the
haven't
way.
wished us happy birthday.
It's never too late.
Our friend Ashley gave us each this like beautiful but like tight bouquet. Like
I know where it's going. Sorry.
she gave us each 3 beautiful. What were those blooms?
No, they
No.
weren't tulips. I think they were ranunculus, maybe?
They were ranunculus.
Oh,
I think that they were
Yeah, something like a ranunculus.
beautiful, bright yellow.
Yeah.
A ranunculus. Yeah, it was like a big bloom. 3 of
Yeah.
those with some gorgeous little purples around it.
Yeah.
And first of all, how romantic. We should be giving each other flowers all the time.
Totally. And I loved how it was just like, it was like just a little bit of flower.
It was taste. It was
tasteful.
edited. It was
Yeah. Tight.
take 1 flower off before you leave the house.
Yeah,
Coco
yeah.
Chanel. It was like a perfect, tasteful,
Yeah.
here are your flowers. And it has brought such brightness into my home.
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, I fucking love that. There's also such romance to the ephemerality of flowers. They're here for a good time and a long time.
I love flowers. I completely
Beautiful.
agree.
Yeah, but then they wilt and like
Yeah.
time has passed.
I love buying flowers. I really do. I
Totally.
bought tulips this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. And especially this time of year. March, our birthday season for flowers is
Peak.
just like,
Yep.
yeah.
I frickin' love flowers,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna put more in my house.
I thought you were going to, may I yes and yours?
Yes.
I was in your house today, Mr. Poopy Pants style, and I was remarking about how our birthdays, while still recent, were 2 weeks ago, and yours are still so vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
I will be honest, mine are done, but yours are like
Do you know what I think
still
is
so fresh.
added romance about that?
Yeah,
I think Mittens has quietly replaced the water. Really sweet.
Mittens has I can tell he has a green thumb.
Okay, then the other one I just want to try on for sizes. Most romantic thing this week. I saw a new kind of hat.
Ooh,
Like a totally novel kind of hat to me.
okay, tell us.
It was raining outside.
A rain hat?
A rain hat. So it had a
It's
bit
what
of
you
a...
only hear about like children's book.
It totally. And the construction of it, confounding.
Oh,
Brim all the way around like you might expect for coverage.
yeah,
But puffy? Puffy. Like
puffy,
think like a
like a puffer.
a puffer. Puffy like a puffer.
A puffer jacket.
Yes.
Yeah.
But thin raincoat material.
Oh,
So confusing. And then you might
I can see this in my mind's eye.
you might think if you've got a brim all the way around, it's your it's your classic kind
That's
of
a great hat.
up and then straight across, creating something of a flat surface at the dome. No, like a skull cap.
Oh, I was actually picturing skull cap.
Okay. Like a really tight skull cap.
A big puffy brim.
And then a skirt. And it was like raincoat material just dripping.
He wasn't removing the. Was it doing a good job?
She seemed perfectly dry underneath.
I was picturing a man.
Oh yeah, no, she. It was just, and you could tell
Was it stylish?
It was more about
Okay.
style than function, but
Interesting.
it was clear like I bring this out when it rains.
When it rains, it's my rain hat.
It's my rain hat. And I just thought it was so romantic because I'm obsessed with hats.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, you've done a few most romantics where it's like, it's just so nice to be surprised by something you thought couldn't surprise you
Totally.
anymore.
Yeah.
This hat did just that.
She stopped you in your tracks.
It took my breath away.
You need to get a rain hat just like it.
I wish I had taken a picture. I tried. It was crazy.
Yeah, what are you gonna Google skull cap with a big puffy brim?
I mean, what I just described to you, I don't think I could draw.
I wish.
We can't recreate it. We lost the science. It's impossible.
And that's what makes it so romantic.
So
It
romantic.
can't even be drawn.
It's completely, yep.
I love that.
Also, now what's the most romantic thing that happened to you?
Okay, I'm also gonna do two.
Okay.
My first one is short. I think the most romantic thing that happened to me this week is Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell stepping out together after she ended her engagement.
Yeah.
Romance is not dead is all I
Wait,
have to
are
say
they
about
like,
that.
are they playing into like, oh, no, we're actually an item?
I think they fully are.
What?
I think this is them like trying it on for size.
Do we have information beyond she went to his sister's
No,
wedding?
I don't
Okay.
think so. So it could be.
And she
nothing.
looked hot at that wedding.
I think maybe they went on there was like a blind item about them like being at a restaurant together.
Oh
maybe.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love that. I love drama. It's reminding me of when Travis and Taylor got together, which like I'm pretty bored of now, to be honest.
Totally.
But like when it first happened, I was being like
It was
totally
like,
mentally
what?
ill about it.
Yeah.
And I'm not being mentally ill about these two, but I.
No, I'm like doing really well.
It's just the most romantic thing that happened to me this week, but it's fine. I love that. I love keeping us on our toes. I love like society being right, like everyone being like, you guys had so much chemistry, and I love being. I love that everyone was right about it.
We knew you were cheating.
Yeah, cheaters. And I love that thing everyone's saying that's like, never let your boyfriend stop you from meeting your husband.
Whoa. Yep.
Yep.
That's pretty romantic.
Yeah, it is. So that was one, and then my like more real one is what was it? Yesterday. This is it was something that just like brought joy into my life. I went to SoulCycle yesterday, and I did a Taylor Swift 1975 class, which, as I said to both of you, Made in a lab for me. Love both of those two artists.
Because before you got mentally ill about Taylor and Travis, you were deeply in the
yeah, I was
throes
actually
of-
way more mentally ill about
Yeah.
Taylor Swift and Maddie Healy. And
Yeah.
I know how people feel about Maddie Healy.
Not you.
I think they're wrong. I think I actually gets me like really upset about media literacy when I start to think about it too much.
I think that's right.
I
stand.
Yeah, I stand. I'm not saying he's a perfect person.
No.
Anyway,
But like, have a critical thought.
have a critical thought.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really enjoyed the class. That's not my most romantic thing, though. There was, like, an older man, like a boomer man.
Hot to you?
Yes, but that wasn't the point. He was probably in his 50s, and he was in the front row. And I just love seeing, like, I just love seeing a man, especially, like, an older man at SoulCycle. I just, like, it's, like, he's, like, celebrating his inner girl.
Totally.
Like, he's kind of, like, I don't know. Because SoulCycle is one of those places that's, like, so, like, for the girls.
Yeah.
But just, like, seeing, like, an older, like,
Yeah.
man who you wouldn't expect to see at SoulCycle, like, kind of endeared me.
Yeah.
And so I was already kind of, like, loving him.
Yeah.
And the lights go down, and the instructor's like, we got a couple things to celebrate today. Like, someone's got their 75th ride, and Peter in the front row, it's his birthday today. And he had gone to this Taylor Swift 1975
Sweet.
birthday class at SoulCycle. And that just, like, was so cute to me.
Happy birthday, Peter.
Happy birthday, Aoi's Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, you know, when it's getting like, we all did this together.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. She was like, Peter, yes, like, I love you. Happy birthday. And he was like dying at this point. And everyone's like, all the girls are like, woo, Peter. And he's like, head down. He just goes, and points up to the sky, like, and it was just so cute.
Oh.
And it just kind of made my day.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Peter. Sweet.
Yeah, it was really cute. His name was actually Elliot, but I changed it for for his privacy.
Because you guys are dating
He's a listener,
now.
so.
Excellent.
That's it for me.
See you next week.
See you next week.